Greetings and salutations, and welcome back to Two Dummies That Just Watch, a sports podcast between friends. This is episode number 15. I am one of your hosts, Will Hernandez, and he's back from the dead like The Undertaker. LeeJay Perilla is back in the house as my co host this week, sir. I thought you died last week, but that wasn't the case.
I'm back and I'm everywhere like bird shit.
No, that's Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg. Dude, so for those who are unaware, I didn't watch halftime last night. What a weird last night was a shit show because the game gets delayed an hour and 20 minutes. Sunday Night Football we're talking about between the Cowboys and the Steelers. And they don't start the game, like I said, it's an hour and 20 minutes later. And then at halftime, Snoop Dogg joins the booth. And I had no interest in listening to that shit show whatsoever. So
They brought him out, I guess, before the game too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Tunnel, he was waving the flag and all of that.
Yeah, because the guy who grew up in LA is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Yeah, I don't. Well, listen, my brother's a Cowboys fan, so there you go. Anyway, yeah. So for those who are joining us again for the second time this week, I recorded episode 14 alone. So if you want to kind of go into that, it's not even an hour long, but I kind of go over the Mets and the Yankees, and I rant about why St. John's is on fucking Peacock for 4 games this year, which I hate. But social, dude, don't get me started with that. Social medias, we're everywhere for the most part. Instagram, X, YouTube, and Threads. I got to do a better job of posting to Twitter and Threads. But hey, I was posting pretty consistently Sunday for the most part. So you can tune into that if you want. Again, as I said the other day, please subscribe and rate us on the podcasting services. We really appreciate that because that does help with the visibility of the podcast. And again, listen, if you guys enjoy this and if you want to, share this out to somebody, please do that. It's funny because I actually found somebody at my job as a sports fan, so I have to tell them about this podcast, and I will do that soon. So
it's funny because my cousin sent me something on Instagram this morning. I wanted to send it to you, and I think if I remember right, it was only a child should be eating boneless wings.
Oh my God.
I was at my desk cracking up.
Bro, yeah. Yeah. God. I think it's where the hell was I recently that where was I? I think it's actually no, it's not the brewery, but I'm trying to remember. There's a place that I go to that they already know because they have both boneless and bone in. And I think I've been there enough times that they know when I say I want wings that they automatically give me the bone in wings because I think they know better. But I wish we can call them something else. Anyway, one last thing before we jump into it. The schedule going forward. We are going to record again Thursday night. So there'll be another episode on Friday morning, and we'll basically keep our NFL picks for Friday. So the schedule might be a little, I don't know, uneven in the next few weeks, but just because schedules are changing. But we'll get back to y'all ASAP and get that out there. So we're going to be coming to you at least once a week. That I know. So,
That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
That's a fact. We just the day might change here and there, but we'll be out at least
due to some scheduling issues, but it'll be fine. Just stick with us.
Yeah, we'll be there. Listen, you're gonna get basically 3 episodes within 7 days this week, so that's the issue right there. So this is going to be a little bit of a shortened episode because we really want to get some things out there because we haven't recorded together in a while, but we're going to come right back on Thursday night into Friday. But I think I was just joking around with LeeJay before I hit the record button. Let's talk about yesterday. And let's talk about specifically about the Jets in London losing to the Vikings 23-17. The lasting image of that loss is Aaron Rodgers throwing his hands up after he throws that interception. That should have been a penalty. I mean, I think it should have been a penalty. I know you think it should have been a penalty, but besides the fact that somehow the fucking Vikings are 5-0, the Jets now find themselves at 2-3. And my God, the shit that I am seeing out there from fans, from media, from the man down the block, it's crazy. Sir, do you think Tyrod Taylor? I can't even say it without laughing. Listen, let me say something to you guys. I'm not a Jets fan by any means. And I was watching that game and I was upset. And I can't even imagine what Jets fans are feeling. But for people who are saying that Tyrod Taylor should be the starting quarterback going forward, you're a fucking idiot. I mean, it's not even.
There's no question about it.
There's not even a question about it. Anyway, sir, I've said enough. What is? I guess my question is.
Guess what? I heard something new today.
Oh, what's that?
Parentheses. Sarcasm is about to follow.
Boy.
Like they said, something brand new I never heard before. You know what I heard? Fire Robert Saleh.
I was about to say.
I never heard that before. I never heard that before. Brand new.
That's where I was going to go next.
I never heard that. Listen, I got a little thing. I wrote a couple things down here, but before
yes.
Before I go to read what I wrote down.
Yes.
I'm going to say this. I gave them a record at the beginning of the year, which people found to be outrageous. But if you really listen to what I had to say, my record wasn't really what I thought they would be. My record was based off me trolling the fans that I'm supposed to rock with. Because I was hearing all about this last year. If we just had a competent quarterback, we would have won this game and we would have won that game. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, I like being right. And I feel like I would sacrifice my team's success just to be right because you guys are idiots. That's how I felt in the moment. Because people just say stuff and they just, like I've always said, they're just reactionary. I used to be like that, a younger fan. You cannot be like that. That's what I was texting you guys yesterday when we were going back and forth, fucking with each other.
Yeah.
I can't be like that anymore. It doesn't. Yes, it's not supposed to get me anywhere. I'm not playing, blah, blah, blah. I'm just a fan. But people don't understand fandom, real fandom. Only sports fans understand real fandom. You, my brother, my cousin, whatever. So when she looks at me and she thinks I'm psychotic, this is real. But I can't take myself to that point anymore.
Right.
Like I said, he got hurt last year. All I heard was he's going to be back. He's going to do X, Y, and Z. I told you from the beginning, I was never a fan of them picking him up. But once they picked him up, I'm on board because that's my team.
Exactly.
I got to rock with him. I'll tell you this. The Jets are not going to win when Aaron Rodgers throws the ball 42 times and 54 times. That's my biggest gripe. 42 against Denver, that shitty ass game that we watched when we were in Milwaukee, and yesterday, 54 times. So when you throw the ball 54 times as any quarterback, doesn't matter who you are, if you're a quarterback, what does that mean you're not doing?
You're not running the ball.
You're not running this is not a hard quiz. You've taken this test many times.
And they only ran the ball 14 times.
I was about to say, I think
Brees
Hall ran the ball maybe 9 times. The kid maybe ran it 3 or 4 times, and I was off the top of my head.
Yeah. So before you go on, Hall, 23 yards. Let me say that again. 23 yards on 9 carries. Braylon Allen, 13 yards on 5 carries. They couldn't even get past an average of 2.6 collectively. That's awful.
And do you know what causes now you coming away from the running game, which is number 1 on my list? Slow starts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We didn't get a first down to what was it? I want to say the third quarter. I'm not even trying to be funny, but it was late.
It was actually
late in the second quarter.
Yeah, because don't forget their first. This is pitiful.
Oh yeah, because they did score before halftime. It was 17-7.
Yeah. So their first 3 possessions, okay? First possession, 5 plays, 9 yards, a total of 133. Second possession, 5 plays, 4 yards, a total of 127. Third possession, 4 plays, 2 yards, ended an interception. Total time, 54 seconds. That's awful.
Who I'm
Carry
trying to
on,
remember.
sir.
Do you remember who was announcing the game yesterday?
It was Rich Eisen and Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. That's who it was.
Yes.
Because people were telling me, "Oh, offensive line." I don't think the offensive line was a real problem yesterday. If you listen to Kurt Warner, who's a what? A former quarterback, Super Bowl winning
Yes.
quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying what he was surprised at. There was a couple of that guy, what's his name? Harrison Smith. He's a safety, and he came off
Mm-hmm.
a couple times off the corner. He was blitzing, and I think he got. I know he got Rodgers once, and I think somebody else got him another time. So they were trying to say offensive line. If you listen to Kurt Warner yesterday, he was saying that's Rodgers' responsibility. When he sees that man coming down and he's on the edge now, the safety, that's his responsibility to change the protection, go to a running play, or get somebody out there to block him.
Right.
So this is why I do like listening sometimes to these former players, because they break it down for you and they know who to blame and who not to blame. Not that they're blaming anybody. They're just trying to say, listen, you guys at home that are fat fucks that don't know shit, let me explain something to you. That wasn't the left tackle's fault. That wasn't the right tackle's fault. That was
Right.
Rodgers' fault because he's supposed to change protection and get somebody out there to block that guy, which he didn't do. And he got sacked, I think 6 times, maybe. It was crazy.
I'll tell you right now. They had actually he only got sacked 3 times.
3 times, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
My point is that you were texting me yesterday, and the biggest text you were saying was the most truthful text. This is what we signed him for.
Yeah.
I get it.
It was.
There was a lot of shit that happened during that game. It would have all went away if what we signed him for was that last drive.
Yes. Exactly.
Granted, I think it was holding, pass interference. What's that other call? Illegal contact. You can't do after 5 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You could have called any of that. It wasn't called. I also think he rushed. We still had time. My biggest gripe is, like you said, that's what we got him for. He's got to start showing. I don't know what's happening here, but if they don't, like I told you, if this doesn't change in 2 to 3 games, the coach will be fired. And I didn't
People
think
are
of that at
getting
the beginning of
fired.
the year, but if
Yeah.
the way this continues, he's going to be fired.
Well,
And
the other
and one more thing, and the drop passes yesterday.
that's what I was just gonna bring up. That's
Lazard,
exactly what I was gonna go.
you played with this man before. It looked like you were trying to catch the ball with your feet. They were right in your hands. The one that I wouldn't try to blame him for, which is like, but you see, when you see Rodgers do these things, you know he could do it. The one in the end zone where he threw behind the linebacker.
Right.
Remember that one? Yeah,
Yeah.
Lazard, he was probably couldn't see.
Yeah.
But it was like perfect. Like you couldn't put that ball anywhere else. And he dropped it. Sauce Gardner, when there's an interception right in your hands, you want to be the best cornerback? You got to catch the fucking ball, dude. On that tip. When they were, I think.
Yes. You got to catch that.
That was right in your hands, bro. You're the best cornerback? Catch the ball. What the F?
Yeah, Lazard only ended up with only 4 catches yesterday for 34 yards.
He could have had so much more, and a couple of his catches were for first downs. Would have been for first downs.
And he had 10 targets, and I don't know how many of those were the drops. And then you target somebody and the ball goes short or whatever. But I told you during the game, I'm watching the game. I was watching the game closely because it was obviously nothing else on, and he had some big drops during this game. So
he did.
For somebody to turn around and put the blame solely on Rodgers or solely on the coaching. What do we say? Watch the game. Just watch the game and you see. I don't know. You tell me. Did anybody today mention Lazard's drops and they're complaining?
I haven't really listened to. I was being back from vacation. I didn't really have time to listen to sports talk radio.
Yeah.
So I was kind of busy. So I'm gonna try to catch up tomorrow and see what they had to say. I'll just listen to today's episode tomorrow, however I do it.
Yeah, I'm curious if anybody had anything to
But
say about
here's the
that.
thing: there is some things I do see on social media not hearing, and all you hear is the defense kept them in the game. If we only did that, so you know what I did is as I put it on like Twitter or whatever, and it's a small clip of somebody saying things like that. You know what I do? I sat on my sofa and I closed my eyes. Everyone, close your eyes with me and just listen. The defense played well. If he would have just caught this ball, if he would have just threw this ball a little better, who do you see when you open your eyes? That sounds like who's there? Zach Wilson. This is the same shit I heard last year. And it was all that kid's fault. Here we are.
But yet, some shit that I saw today on social media, people saying, well, you might as well just have Zach Wilson back there. You people are fucking stupid.
Yo, seriously, your people's head is so far up your ass, it comes out of your neck again. Did you see this? You don't even have to comment. Like when the game ends, sometimes I'll make a comment on social media just for fun to see what I could do, blah, blah, blah. That's just who I am. But I really just wait a couple days and I just sit back. Just give it some time. The stupidity, you'll see it start coming from behind the trees. Hello, I'm stupid and I got something stupid to say. It's like this is what we're saying.
It's crazy. It's insane.
How do you even talk about that? I can't even what? It's just everyone needs to get their head out of their ass. They got to come out to quicker starts. Like I said, I'm not a professional, nothing like that, but I'm just looking. It looks like it looks plain. It looks plain.
Yeah, it does.
It
Even to me,
like nothing's going on. Like it's plain.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know, man. This is gonna go left very quick. They got Buffalo on Monday. You think Buffalo's gonna show up like they showed up yesterday against the Texans, which is a better team, which is probably why they look like that?
Mm-hmm.
It could get ugly on Monday, and everybody on Tuesday better be looking for that pink slip.
It's crazy to think that Monday's a must-win game, and that if they don't win that game on Monday, that could be it for a lot of people.
And here's why I say that. When you're a football player, basketball player, whatever player, you've been playing this sport since you were a kid. Mm-hmm. When you do false starts and stuff that's your fault, to me, that's not a coach's problem. That's a you problem. Because you know what? And when they played against Denver, Tyron Smith, one of the best left tackles in football, was offsides 3 or 4 times. He's a 13-year veteran. You can't blame the coach for that, right? So me and my brother were talking yesterday via text, and him and I, it's you too. One of the biggest things I hate was your team is down 14, 17, 20 points. You do a little something, maybe a turnover, and you start dancing. And you start celebrating all of that. Bro, I can't stand that. That's a coaching thing.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to pull those fucks aside and say, yo, what are we doing here? I get it. You're trying to hype yourself up, but look at the scoreboard. We're losing. And we look like asshats on the field. That's, to me, is coaching. You can't keep saying the same shit over and over again and expect a grown-ass man to listen to you, and you're not producing. That's coaching. Everything's not, it falls on a coach, fire him. That's not the way it works. Certain things go to coaching, and certain things goes to, you get paid a lot of money. I'm held accountable to know how to do my job. You are, and we don't get paid anywhere near these people.
Right.
You need to know how to do your job, especially when you've been playing this sport since you was a little kid. Like, everybody needs to get their head out of their ass. Listen, I may say this. I can't accept a loss on Monday because it's still 2-4. but I have to see a lot better. If
Yeah,
it comes down to the
absolutely.
wire, maybe there's a missed call or whatever. There's got to be more effort. There's got to be come out quicker. Listen, it's the defense again is doing well again, but it's the same song and dance. I want to just put a tin cup out there and just doing the same song and dance. It's hopefully somebody gives me money. It's stupid. Everybody told me Jesus was here and he was going to lead us to the promised land. I don't see the promised land anywhere near.
Here's an observation that I had yesterday. Aaron Rodgers' body language sucked yesterday, especially when he was on the sidelines. And I forget who the sideline, I think it was Stacey Dales, made the comment about how it didn't seem like Rodgers was trying to talk to his offense or whatever. And you see some clips, and again, it could be taken out of context of Rodgers talking to Hackett on the sideline, and it almost makes me wonder if there is something else going on there. Whether Rodgers takes these guys seriously, his
The
coaches
crazy thing is
seriously,
that
I
they're
don't know.
boys. That was his
Well, that's the thing,
OC over
yeah,
there.
right, yeah.
And I remember, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, I saw it on social media, Instagram, there was a thing about when Rodgers didn't like when a play was called, he used to look at the sideline and be like, I can't hear you, the mic, and then call his own play.
That's hilarious. Well,
I saw that somewhere.
There was that one thing about he was going like this so they get the play in,
Get the play in.
get the play in quicker. So it's just like
I think he was also pissed off on the I think the Jets were on the other side of the 50. It was fourth in like inches, and I'm sitting here
and they
I
ran
couldn't
the ball,
text you in
right.
sound. I said these idiots are about to run the ball.
Yeah.
They ran the ball. They lost a yard, and he's like, "What the?" He's pissed. You could clearly see he's pissed.
And it was basically like, put the ball in my hand to pass the ball.
Again, like you text me yesterday, that's what you got him for. All this safe little throws and that shit's. Can we? Even if it doesn't work, can we try something downfield? Can we do something here? This looks stupid. This looks like if we were back in PS31.
Well, here's my question then, because Hackett's calling the plays, right? He knows what he has with Rodgers. Why do you think they're keeping everything so simple?
I feel it's
That's
like the same thing when they had this kid. They didn't. I don't think that kid Braylon Allen didn't play game one, and then it took him a couple games to get him in the game, and then he had the good game against Tennessee, the 2 touchdowns, where they came back and won that game. It's like you put the kid. These guys are football players, young, old. Let them play.
Yeah.
You put these kids. Oh, he's 20. He's a rookie. I don't care. That stuff to me doesn't make sense. How else is he supposed to learn?
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to make mistakes. I understand that. But I could live with that if you're giving him burn and he's learning, just like this other guy they drafted, Malachi Corley, I think his name is. I can't forget what. All I heard was he's going to be a dynamic slot guy. I haven't seen him all year. You can't come up with any kind of like creation for this guy. End arounds, little, shallow crosses for him. Maybe that gets Garrett Wilson open. It's like you're doing the same shit. How many times have I thrown that little quick hot, when they call it, what they call it, a hot read, and it's a quick pass. The one that got intercepted yesterday. You do that so many times. You don't think the defense sees that? I see it. My fat ass sees it from my sofa. And I'm like, are they able to do that shit again? Oh, look at that. This long-headed fella picked it off again, just like he did against the Giants. The same fucking guy.
The same
fucking guy.
I didn't realize that until it happened, and they showed the replay. I was like, oh, wow, this guy does have a knack for doing that, doesn't he? It's funny, and we're going to go to the Giants here quickly soon, but it's funny, the difference, because don't forget, Singletary was hurt for the Giants yesterday. But Tyrone Tracy, who the Giants just drafted, guess what?
They giving him, he said, man down, let's go, kid. But he's actually been playing before that too. It's not like they said, man down, I know you haven't played any snaps, kid. Get in there. No, he's been playing.
Right. Exactly.
It's weird to me. Like, you look at these other teams with these rookies and all of this, they find a way to put them in, but we're the only team that finds a way to bury them on the bench and then blame them when they come in the field and make errors. It's weird. I'm tired of talking about the same crap and over again. I don't really give a shit anymore. I'll change the channel. I don't give a shit. I got plenty of reality TV on DVR.
Oh my God. Well, the way the Jets season's
seriously, bro. Out.
Yeah, it's almost turning into
I'm not gonna be that. I'm not gonna be that way anymore. Listen, I was down on the dumps on the Mets. They're making me feel happy. Win or lose, whatever happens, happens. This shit with the Jets, it's like we're back, 20, 30 years ago. I recorded it. I popped it in the VCR, and I'm watching the same shit year after year after year after year. Come on, man. I'm tired.
Well, on that note, let's talk about the Giants, who go into Seattle banged up. They're down. Singletary's not there. Malik Neighbors out with a concussion. But somehow, some way, they win 29-20. And Daniel Jones looks like an actual fucking NFL quarterback in this game, which is...
They won me money. Thank you, Giants.
Oh. I did.
I picked them on the money line.
I took them with the spread because I didn't think they were going to lose by... I really didn't think they were going to lose by 7 games. 7 points.
I mean, on the spread. I'm sorry, on the spread. I picked them on the spread.
Yeah, that's what I did, to pick them on the spread. So, listen, let's get to Tracy, because we just talked about how Braylon Allen is not being used correctly by the Jets. So Tyrone Tracy comes in there and he rushes for 129 yards on 18 carries. He averages 7.17 yards per carry.
So what is that? Yesterday.
Yeah. So what is that? And full disclosure, it was I had the Mets and the Giants on at the same time, and it's very hard to keep track of both at the same time.
Yeah, that was a shit show.
Yeah, I tried to go back and watch the Giants game again, but I just I don't have time for this. So, but what I did watch, Jones looking like an actual fucking quarterback. Where really, I was like, wow, what's happening here? When they when he hit Slayton for the 30-yard touchdown pass down the deep left side.
That was a nice throw.
Yeah.
Slayton's a sneaky good wide receiver.
Yeah, he is. And I know he's had a kind of a rough start to the year. But the thing is that you're able to do that because 2 plays earlier, Tracy had an 11-yard run. And Jones had a 10-yard run. So that kind of opens up. I'm sorry, the play before the touchdown. I'm sorry here. What am I looking at? I'm looking at the plays here. Yeah. He had 2 big passes to Slayton on that. It was one for a 26-yard play. That was from the shotgun. And then 3 plays later, you hit Slayton for the 30-yard score. And in between, Jones runs for 10 yards and Tracy runs for 11 yards. So again, they go into Seattle, and they historically have not played well, but they're able to pull out a win. And then the big play in the game is towards the end. It's funny. I'm watching. It was a key at bat in the Mets game, so I'm watching the main TV, and then I look, and this guy's running down the field, and I'm like,
because Isaiah Simmons blocked it.
Right, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, why are they kicking an extra point? Like, what the fuck just happened? And then they showed Simmons blocking the
field goal.
The field goal.
That would have been a time field goal.
It would have been a time field goal. Here's the thing, too. The funny thing on that play, I didn't think you were allowed to jump over the line like that.
Yeah, I saw that, but
what's the thing on that? Did they explain that?
I can't really remember. I'm gonna try to go look it up. But there was something to it to where I guess he was good because he clearly looked like he jumped.
He definitely he hurdled
So
over it.
yeah, I don't know how exactly that works. I didn't think you could do that unless you can't use them as a boost.
That could be it.
If you
Yeah,
clear them, it's
I think
fine.
you're right. I think you're right. Yeah, that could be the situation.
Because I think he just like clearly just hurdled the guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what the thing I do like what the Giants did in this game because Eric Gray, bro.
The kick returner guy,
No,
the guy
no.
that was
Well, yeah.
doing.
Don't forget he fumbled the ball
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the goal
yeah.
line,
Uh-huh.
and they took it back. What was it? 102
Oh yeah,
yards.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gray only had 3. Uh, he only had Let me see. He only had 4 carries. The 3 more carries the rest of the game. You make a mistake like that, your ass
Dable
is on the
said, "Come sit
bench.
next to
Yeah,
my former fat ass, now my skinny
right.
ass. Come sit
But
next to me."
I like the fact that they showed some responsibility there and basically benching the guy and then having Tracy take over the rest of the game. Now, I didn't watch every single play of this game. I told you guys, watching the Mets and the Giants game at the same time. But from what I saw and what people were saying on Twitter at the same time, people were saying that Daboll actually called a good game, was calling like the right plays at the right time. And so my question is, when we talk about that, where the fuck was this earlier in the season, if that's the case?
And the crazy thing is, this is why I say some people. And listen, this is not me trying to get a job. So guys, forget about that. No, mostly I'm doing this because we're really good friends. We vibe off each other, like we've always said. And I think this is cool to do. So I'm not looking for somebody to see this and give me a job. So get that out of your head. But I will tell you this. I'm tired of seeing people that all they do is, and I've complained about this before, that all they do is they're just reactionary to what they see week to week.
Mm-hmm.
Last week it was Daboll. He can't play calls. Daniel Jones ain't the answer. I saw today. Yesterday showed me that
Oh,
Daboll's the
stop.
future of this team. And I'm
Stop
just like,
it. Stop it.
come on, guys. You were just last week ripping this guy a new a-hole. And that's what that's the part of sports radio that I don't appreciate. Because to me, you don't really have an opinion.
Right.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You're just looking off the game. You're looking at the game and it's just reactionary to what you say. You come with an opinion and then that's it. Next week it could change. So, no, like I've always said here, say something, stick to it. If you have crow on your face, eat it and move on.
Right.
It's okay to eat the crow and then still celebrate.
Right. Which we've done. And we'll get into that.
We've done plenty of times. We're
get
doing
into
it
that
now.
Yeah. And we'll get into that with Pete Alonso. I was about to say, we'll get into that with Pete Alonso.
Like this week to week thing and not having your own opinion, that's not having your own opinion. Like people, when we get to the P. Alonso, I got something else to say about stupid people.
Yeah. No, I get it. I didn't even realize Slayton had 122 yards.
He had a good game yesterday. He's sneaky good.
Yeah. I mean, listen, somebody had to step up because Neighbors was out, obviously, because of the concussion situation. I'm surprised he was even there, to be quite honest. That kind of surprised me that he was that he made the trip out to Seattle. But now somehow, some way, the Commanders are in first place, right? Because they're playing lights out right now. I wonder, here's the question now. Can you come back? By the way, the defense is playing lights out for the most part. At least they did in this.
They had a good game yesterday, too. They came up with that big stop on fourth, and I think it was 1 where they sacked, Spider-Man sacked Geno Smith. That was a big play.
Yeah.
But you just mentioned the Commanders. This is another thing. Dan Quinn, he sucks as a coach. Cliff Kingsbury, he sucks. Look at you guys. But no one ever wants to say sorry. I'm an idiot. Just write that on a piece of tape and stick it to your forehead. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, because now I'm seeing that Quinn was the right guy to coach this team.
Yeah, like stop, man, stop. It's painful to listen and to hear. Listening to watch. It's painful, man. You guys sound like dodo birds.
So we're saying that now because they're 4-1,
yes!
but we weren't saying that before the season started.
But if everyone sat down with their friends like we did at the beginning of this, and we did a little contest, and we said, all right, what's the I bet you everybody got the Commanders at the bottom of their list of the NFCs.
I did.
I think if I'm not mistaken, Charlie picked them to win the conference, but I could be mistaken about that. But I think he picked them to win the conference.
The division, you mean?
The division. Sorry, the division.
Yeah. Shit, if they win. Hey, they might just
so
win.
So far, he's the only one and I'm pretty sure, and I think him and I spoke, and I think he picked them.
Interesting. I'll have to go back and look at those picks because I have not looked at them yet. Sorry, guys.
Because I don't think I did.
Contest is still on. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a lot more to say about the Giants game because I just wasn't watching it enough, but I know it's going to be interesting to see, and we'll make our picks on on Thursday for next week. But look, Cincinnati is playing like ass. The Giants have some momentum. They're going to be playing at home.
They could win that game.
If they can, if you can come in and win that game, and which I'm thinking about going to, depending on
neighbors should be back.
Yeah, neighbors should be back. I'm thinking about going to that game because I'm off the next day. It all depends on what's going on with the Mets. But man, if you would have told me that they're 3-3 after 6 games, I would have called you fucking crazy. But I'll take that right now, considering
I'm still in the running for my 9-8 record. You're welcome, Eric. Cash in on your winnings, baby.
Yeah, bro. If the Giants win 2 more games, Charlie's prediction's out the window. So, yeah. Well, actually, if they win 3 more games, his prediction's out the window. So, I don't know, man. I just from what I saw, I don't know why my voice is cracking. From what I saw on Sunday, they look pretty good.
And that was one of the better games for the Giants I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything.
Yeah,
everything.
And yeah, so then the question's going to come up, how do you keep this momentum going in next week against Cincinnati? And you're going to have the Bengals are on their heels right now, and this is the thing that we talk about. You have the momentum. We talked about this with the Mets or whatever. You've got the momentum. You got to, come all out on Sunday night and just fucking beat the Bengals and just, you go from there. So
and just because they're 1-4, their offense is good.
Yeah.
You saw what Burrow did yesterday. Jamar Chase, phenomenal. T. Higgins has been their defense.
Yeah.
So if you guys could just figure out a way to stop more so Jamar Chase, I think they'll be fine.
Well, that's the thing. I think you're gonna run into the problem that the Giants had with CeeDee Lamb. They'll have that same problem on Sunday of bottling up Chase. So I don't know. This I hope this defensive coordinator has some tricks up his sleeve for Sunday because that the Bengals are going to come out with a vengeance.
They look terrible.
Yeah, dude, they're on the fucking brink. You can basically say I think it's safe to say that the Bengals looking at Sunday's game was a must win. Is that fair to say? Because if you fall to 1-5,
it could be. But what are they? Because what's Baltimore now? 3-2. So what are you? 2 games out. Baltimore wins again. You lose again. You don't want to be 1-5. What do they want? 1-4 right now?
They're 1-4. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you don't want to be 1-5.
You can't be 1-5. You absolutely can't be.
Because you got to still play Baltimore again. Yeah, you don't want. I don't know the rest of their schedule, but yeah, you don't want to be 1-5.
It's funny because
not a good look.
No, it's not. And I was listening to this one podcast that I listened to. It's called Heed the Call. People should check it out. It's a really good. They used to be the NFL Today or Inside the NFL Today podcast, and those guys left the NFL Network or whatever. They got their own thing going on now. But they played a clip of Joe Burrow saying how even 5 games into the season, they're not even close to being like a championship caliber team. I don't know if you heard that clip as well.
Yep.
And it's just like, and the reporter said, He even said, so you're saying even after so many games that you guys are not to that level. He's like, yeah, that they have the potential to be, but they're not there yet. So again, it's all this shit that the Giants need to keep this stuff in mind, that this team's going to play fucking desperate on Sunday, I think. And the Giants need to be ready for that. It's the same thing that I said going into the Dallas Cowboys game from a couple of weeks ago. And we all know how the fuck that turned out.
I'll say this. If going back to that game real quick so we can move on.
Yeah.
If the Cincinnati does what they did offensively against Baltimore and the Giants just go score field goals like they did against Dallas, they're going to get crushed.
Oh, yeah. You can't. Yeah. You got to come out aggressive. And like you said, hopefully Neighbors is back and you kind of go from there. So we've been waiting a little while to talk about. This is our halftime show, by the way. And we might spend a little bit of time talking here. I think people will get a kick out of our Milwaukee trip to the land of beer, sausage, old fashions, and Bloody Marys, baby.
And these delicious donuts that I found at the stadium.
Yes, that's right.
Golly, were those donuts delicious at whatever they're called? That field is called now. It's corny. I can't even remember the name.
American Life Field.
Yes, you guys need to go back.
Let's go back to Miller Park, please. So, I don't even know how we want to start this conversation. I guess so. Just to recap, everybody, we were out there for Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday. 4 nights. Holy shit! 4 nights, 5 days. And we were out there to see the Mets, who lost the 2 games.
The 2 games we were there, pieces of shit.
Yeah. And then we end up going to the casino on Sunday to watch that fucking dreadful Jets-Broncos game. That shit was awful. Let's start there with the casino.
Shout out to Poto whatever.
Poto.
Yeah. Listen,
Potawatomi.
It looks like it's relatively new. It's still under construction for the most renovation, I should say. Because there's curtains still up to where you can't see what they're doing. Probably putting up new machines, whatever.
Sure.
But I'll tell you this: we ate a lot, we drank a lot there. We got to see all the football, and our bill was like $150.
That's unbelievable, dude.
And let me tell you something. That place has some of the best chili I ever had in my life.
That's right. That shit was good.
That chili was delicious.
All 3 of us got it, I think, right?
Yeah, we all got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Where it came like in a little...
Like little cup
whatever it was. Like a cauldron type of thing.
Yeah.
It was delicious. But let me tell you, that place was top-notch. Great customer service. Our waitress was great. I wish I remembered her name. I give her a shout-out. The place was clean. They were attentive.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the cheap part. It was cheap. It was easy to make a bet if you wanted to make a bet. The kiosks were all over the place. It was a good place for us to go and just chill for the day and watch the game. Because I remember our initial plan was to go take the train in Chicago, and then we woke up late. We were like, this ain't happening.
Yeah, no, it was much better to do the casino thing. And I told this to LeeJay and Caesar. Shout out to Caesar who came on the trip with us. That for those who know Newburgh, there's a resorts casino here in Newburgh. They need a fucking sports book like this because, man, if they had a sports book like that, I would actually go every once in a while just to like chill out and watch the games on all these fucking screens, man. Like I hope that the resorts is thinking about it because I know they're expanding here in the Newburgh Mall. And I actually passed by there today because I had to go drop something off at the bank, and the bank's on the way. They're doing construction right now. You can see it outside. So the casino, the casino's expanding. But Poto, as the locals call it, we found this out.
We found that out.
It's Poto. It's Poto. Y'all going to Poto?
That's exactly how she sounded too.
Y'all going to Poto? Holy shit. Yeah, okay, let me ask you a question. What was better, that sports book or the one on Mohegan Sun?
I'm just going to, I would say, I guess because it's just the amount of I'll say this. I would say them in Milwaukee.
Yes,
because they made it more accessible for us to get a table.
I agree.
Mohegan Sun didn't make it easy.
No, they didn't.
And we didn't get a table at the end of the day anyway. So
yeah, because I don't think Mohegan Sun had
there was
app.
no like real quick. All I had to do was go onto their website.
Yes,
and they did it it was very easy. You just go on there, click on reservation, and there was different slots for every time the games were on. So forget about the time difference. So if you wanted to schedule it from 1 to 4, you'll have the table from 1 to 4. You'll get to see all those games. Lucky for us, she spoke to her manager. We spent enough money to where we only had to add an extra $20.
Mm-hmm.
And if we wanted to stay there for the rest of the games, we could have.
Yeah.
Because they didn't book that table for the later games from 4 to 7.
Yeah, because they have special amounts you have to hit if you're there for when the Packers are playing and when the Brewers are playing. And don't forget, guys, the Brewers didn't start until later in the afternoon, so we had to hit like that threshold to stay there. But we did that. So
listen, guys, real quick. If you know of a sports book or whatever, if you're a sports fan, woman, man, whoever you are, it's actually like he was saying about Newburgh. They should build one there. It's a great place to get together, drink beer, eat food, and they show every game. There's TV.
I love it.
It's like a man's wet dream.
It really is.
There's TVs everywhere. And obviously the local team gets the biggest TVs.
Of course. Yeah.
Makes sense. But
yeah,
we saw every 1 o'clock game. It's
every
phenomenal.
1 o'clock game was on. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And Mohegan Sun, they do the same thing. They got a great venue too.
Yeah.
I just didn't like how it wasn't easy to get a table, which is what we wanted, or even a high top or something.
Yeah. The other good thing too was that at some point they had like there was one part of the wall that had like up other like they're not TVs, they're just like screens. So they eventually put the Brewers Mets game on.
Right.
And then they had the Liberty game was on as well because they were in the WNBA.
There's something for everybody.
Yeah,
those TVs are not going to get, they're not going to get multiple TVs, but you'll have a TV there if you're interested in the WNBA game.
Or exactly.
Local soccer or whatever the case may be, the golf or whatever. So it's cool. And go ahead.
No, I was going to say just kind of moving on. I'm trying to think, what was the most memorable part of the trip for you?
Caesar snoring. Sorry, Caesar. Yo, Caesar, I've grown to love Caesar. He's a good dude. He has no problem spending money. He doesn't complain about where to go. But Caesar, I'm going to tell you this in person. I don't know if you're going to listen to this, but I'm going to tell you in person the next time we take a trip. You have to get your own room. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Jesus Christ. We love you, Caesar.
You would think Caesar weighed 500 pounds, and he doesn't. Not even close, ladies and gentlemen. Not even close. But you would think that they locked us in a room, they lifted up the cage, and there was about 1,000 wild boars in our room. When Mr. Hernandez wakes up in the morning and says, "I can't sleep no more, I'm just going to shave my fucking head." Who does that at 5:30 in the morning?
Bro, it was 5:30.
He wakes up to go shave his head. I'm not even in the room because I'm downstairs red-eyed in the gym. But I don't fall asleep on the treadmill.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. One thing, oh boy, we love you, Caesar. One thing I did want to bring up, the very nice people in Milwaukee.
Oh boy.
Who thanked us.
Who thanked us for feeding their economy, and please come back to our stadium. I almost passed out. I wanted to just say for fun, fuck you. Because I thought they were, in my mind, being mean. Or trolling. I don't even think they know what trolling means.
No, they probably don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not lying.
Oh my God.
There's one guy, and everyone that knows me, I don't like to talk to people. I don't want to touch people. It don't even have to be. Even people look at me and say, "Oh, that's just a man thing." It's just, but if a beautiful woman, guys, if you know me, it's even beautiful women. It makes me very, very uncomfortable. So I got to actually striking up conversations a couple times with randos. And they both tell me, thank you for visiting. Thank you for feeding our economy. And please come again to our stadium. Those were their exact words.
Shit is crazy.
I don't even know what to say.
But I told you that was going to happen.
No, you did. And I just blew you off because I like, this sounds stupid. Oh, where are you from? You're from Virginia? Oh, no, whatever. You're from, I'm trying to think of something else. Oh, you're from North Dakota? Thank you for coming to Citi Field. Please come again. I would never say that.
Never.
That doesn't even sound, it sounds weird.
What about the couple that was in the bar that was visiting New York?
Oh, and quick story. So one of my newest coworkers at my job, he's from Minnesota.
Oh, Jesus.
So he came to my desk today, and he's like, "How was Milwaukee?" I said, "Yeah, blah blah blah." He's like, "How much spout of cow did you drink?"
Yes, he knew.
He know. He's been there so many times, and he says he's thinking to himself, and I think this is the name of it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he knew what it was. He's like, that place. And he's doing that place. He's like, I got it. Kelly's Bleachers.
Oh shit, he knew. Wow.
I was like, yeah, I said, that's the bar that we went to that we were actually able to walk to the stadium from. He's like, yeah, those people got shuttle buses leaving every 5 minutes. I remember watching them leave. I was like, that's the place. So that couple from New York, awesome. A nice older gentleman and his wife. At first, I thought they were trying to like swing me in. I was so scared. I was like, this is some swinging shit. I'm not interested. I forgot to tell you that I was terrified. The back of my neck was sweating. I was like, I do not want any part of this.
That's hilarious. No, I did. That's hilarious.
So they come to find out the previous week they visited New York. They were like, oh man, you guys got such a beautiful city. I was like, really? I hate that dump. He starts laughing. His wife starts laughing. They were like, are you serious? I'm like, I'm not joking. I'm serious.
They don't get it. Yeah.
And I told them, I said, I couldn't see myself living here for other reasons, but I'll say this. The tempo of Milwaukee is my tempo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's who I am inside and in my brain mentally when everything slows down.
Yeah.
This is more my thing. So, you know, I got to meet them. They were pretty cool. He looked like he had money, so I wouldn't have mind to have been his friend, but I couldn't find that out.
Maybe if you want to slap with them.
No, chill. We're not doing that. This ain't the P. Diddy party. We ain't doing that.
There goes the P. Diddy reference. I was waiting for that.
But they were two, like I said, older couple. They were very nice. The guy that I talked to for about 10 minutes in the first game we arrived on Friday.
Yes.
I mean, there was no one talking shit.
Nobody said
Everybody
a word to
just
us.
Let us sit there, watch the game. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to be that guy because if you're not giving me shit, I'm not going to give you shit. I don't rock like that.
Right.
Everybody was pleasant. It was great. It was those moments of the game, besides us losing, was great.
Sir, we have to talk about our celebrity sighting.
Oh my God. Shout out to the Sweet Diner. That shit was delicious.
It was.
So Thursday when we go to what's that place again? Stenny's that were doing the 25-cent wings or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Penny wings, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Our good friend again, Caesar, he got blitzed. I'd never seen him drink so much in my life.
Dude
he was hamming. He went to the bathroom. I was like, what? I told Will, I said, is Caesar okay? I've never seen him drink so much. He finally admitted that the next day. He's like, I drank too much. I never seen him drink like that. Listen, we're on vacation, man. Have fun. I'm gonna look out for you, just in case it goes left. So you don't got to worry about that. So do whatever you got. I don't give a shit.
All those spotted cows, bro.
So the next morning, Friday, Will and I missed the complimentary breakfast, and we're starving. Caesar couldn't get up, or whatever the case may be. He didn't want to eat. So him and Will found this place called the Sweet Diner. We walked to it. So we walk inside the building, walk up the first flight of steps, and I hear somebody behind open the door that's at the bottom of the stairs. So me, trying to be a nice guy, said, all right, let me just hold this door. So when I turn around, I did a double take. Oh shit, that's Harrison Bader. coming in with his cowboy hat and his cowboy boots. I waited at the door. I held the door for him. I said, "Oh, what did I tell him?" I said, "Oh, Harrison Bader." He says, "Yeah." I said, "What the hell did I tell him?" I think I said, "Kick their ass this week." And he starts laughing. And I said, "Good luck." He goes, "Thank you." And then he sticks out his hands and shake my hand. By the way, he has very soft hands. I think he soaks them in milk.
Wait, so he actually put out his hand to you?
Yeah, he put out his hand. I put out my hand, so I shook his hand.
That's cool.
Which I normally don't do, but whatever. I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Seemed like a very cool dude. I didn't want to get into the whole take a picture with me thing. I'm not. That's kind of weird to me. He did enough. He took his hand. I shook his hand, and we moved on. But you were saying that you think that their hotel is in the area.
Yeah, it's right there in the area. The funny thing,
he was by himself, and we started walking around the town. Yeah, Will and I, until we went to meet back up with Caesar, and he's on a scooter, riding around the town, going into the local cigar shop like a regular dude. These people are regular people, man. People just look at them differently. He was on a fucking one of those scooters that you rent, riding around.
Yes. I wasn't crazy about that right away because I started complaining to LeeJay. Oh my God, what happens if he hurts himself?
I'll be right there to help him.
I know you would be.
I'll touch his hands again.
It was funny going back to the restaurant, seeing him there. It's after this. I was oblivious to this because I was like, I'm fucking.
Yeah, because you actually were ahead of me a little bit.
Yeah, getting the table. So LeeJay, when after this happens, LeeJay comes behind me and kind of whispers and says, "Hey, Harrison Bader's right behind you." And I turn around, I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I was like, "Okay, it's time to eat." I was ready to eat, but the thing was, we didn't see any other players.
No other players were. Yep.
No other players kind of walked in there, but
some players are like that. They just fly solo. They want to do their own thing, especially if they're right in the area. He's probably been there before.
Oh yeah,
I would assume he's been there before.
Yeah,
and they don't want to eat the hotel breakfast, so they go there. Yeah. That was a good spot.
Yeah, that spot was really good, and our waitress on the first day was really, really nice.
She was.
We don't know where she was from because she had an accent. It almost sounded like she was from either Germany or.
Yeah, well, I was to guess I was going to say Germany.
Yeah, like one of those countries in that area. Yeah, I mean, listen, and this was your first time in Milwaukee, and I've been to Milwaukee a shit ton of times because, as I've said before, when I was living in Chicago, anytime the Mets went to Milwaukee, I was there. I was up there with either make a day trip out of it or do like an overnight thing. And I always said it's so fucking cheap to eat and to drink in Milwaukee, and that proved to be true time and time and time again. Dude, our bill at Stenny's, I don't even think it was over $100.
I was just about to say that. It was $100. It was $103. And we each had about 6 or 7 beers. We ordered the 25 wings, $103. And we had I wish I would have just did a little bit more asking people their names and stuff, even though I don't do that. I did give the girl a compliment, and she was very appreciative of that.
Yeah.
We had a great waitress at Stenny's.
Yeah, she was great.
That I want to say woman, but when I look at her and I'm 47, she looks like a girl to me. Like
but
she looked like she was maybe 21, 22 years old.
Probably in her early to mid 20s.
Let me tell you, this girl was phenomenal at her job. She was great. She always kept the water tapped off. You want another beer? You want more food? Boom. And the place was crowded.
Yeah, it was.
And she had and at the same time, she was training somebody. So I'm sorry I can't remember your name, but top notch service there.
Yeah. I mean, really, the service everywhere.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't
the city's
had
clean.
A bad experience. Yeah.
City's very clean. But that's one thing with me. Like there's 3-4 days what we did, that's enough. Then you got to get out of there.
Yeah. For people who don't know the Midwest very well, there's a lot of drinking that happens in the Midwest.
If I was to live there, I'd probably be 4 times my weight. I would probably do fat things like order cheese sticks and dip it in my beer and then eat it and then drink the beer. That's all you could do there.
Yeah.
But our hotel was in a beautiful spot.
Yeah, I'd never been to that.
Between the restaurants and the bars, the place that I found my old fashions at, delicious. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Ideal spot.
Shout out to that coffee shop that we went to every single day. That was in that market.
Good. Minus the pumpkin thing. You got to do better with that one.
Failed. Yeah.
But the other coffee, delicious.
Yeah.
The bakery that was in there, delicious. And the seafood spot.
Which was shocking. Yeah. That was surprising.
I was telling my coworker, he said the same thing. That's surprising.
That is
I said it was right in one of those public markets when you first walk in.
Yep.
The first day we went there, the line was long as hell. We said we're going to come back. So we had an afternoon where we had a couple hours to kill. We decided to get lunch there and bring it back to the room. Boy, no, not any three of us complained about the food that we got from there.
I mean, they have to fly that out fresh every day. And listen again. I sound like a broken record. When I was living in Chicago, you didn't go out for seafood in Chicago. That just wasn't a thing.
That's not a thing.
Because I knew, like, oh, I'm not gonna fucking. And even if you want to, like, I distinctly remember trying to buy a lobster in Chicago. It cost you an arm and a leg because you're farther from
I know
East
what you're
Coast.
saying.
So it's going to cost you more because they're paying money to fly it out. Right. But
like I said, though, and to this day, the best place I've had seafood at wherever you were living that we went to, for obvious reasons, was Boston. And when we visited
New Hampshire.
Oh my God.
Portsmouth. Yes.
Yes.
That had that lobster roll.
They looked like the guy said, "What do you want, lobster roll? I'll be right back." He went to the back of the restaurant, stuck his hand in the water, and pulled it out.
Bro, I was surprised with the lobster roll that I got at the seafood place in Milwaukee. That it was big, like because sometimes they skimp on the lobster, and it was a fair price. It was like $23 for like a meal.
That's actually pretty good.
I mean, that same lobster roll at that place by Harpoon in Boston, that's probably costing you like $35.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck?
Yeah, I had the shrimp po' boy twice and the lobster bisque. That's the lobster bisque. That shit was delicious. Could have put a little bit, put a couple chunks of lobster in there in the bisque, but it was good. That shit was good. Yeah, I would say out of 10 for the short amount of time we went there, I give it a strong 8. For the things we did and the only things that we're gonna do when you go there, I give it an 8. Taking everything into consideration, cleanliness, friendliness, the price wise, I give it a solid 8.
Shout out to the National Bobblehead Museum. That shit was overwhelming.
I was telling some people at my job today, I was like, it was a lot.
Yeah. For people who aren't aware, there's like this small bobblehead museum and Hall of Fame, and you walk in there and there are fucking bobbleheads all over the place that you can't possibly see.
I was about to say, I definitely didn't see every single bobblehead.
No. I'll for people who are following us on Instagram, I'll take a picture of the one that I bought. It was for people who've seen the movie Rudy, and at the end when they lift him up on his shoulders, I bought that from the store before we left. And I actually wore the shirt today. I'm not wearing it right now, but I had it on earlier, but I got it dirty, unfortunately. So I had to throw it into the laundry. But yeah, listen, man, I'm having trouble here. Well, I think Milwaukee is an underrated city. I really do.
I agree with that.
And for people, again, like LeeJay said, it's clean. It's quiet. There's not. We saw like 2 homeless people the whole time we were there. They got their
hotel. The hotel was on point. It was a nice little suite.
Yeah,
and I forgot to shout out your boy with the purple net shirt.
So here's the story.
I can't remember his name. All I know is he was on Lyft driver one night.
Yeah. So Thursday night we're leaving Stenny's.
And thank God he came late because I had to take a dump. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Thursday night we leave Stenny's and we're waiting outside waiting, and there's a gay bar across the street, which LeeJay noticed.
La Cage,
yes. Notice how LeeJay noticed the gay bar. Anyway.
Yeah, because there was a 6'5" man standing outside smoking a cigarette in 8-inch stilettos and a fishnet dress. Oh, yeah. That's the Mets grimace right there.
So we get into this guy's Uber, Lyft, whatever the fuck it was. Lyft. I think Caesar ordered a Lyft. And we get in there.
It was a Lyft because they were for some reason cheaper out there.
Listen, I'm somebody who's very observant, so I am always like looking around and looking at the driver and stuff. So I'm sitting behind him, and LeeJay and Caesar didn't notice this, but he's got on like a purple, like see-through type of shirt, like he's going to, he's going to a club, and these guys don't notice it. So we get out of the car, and I say, "Oh, you guys see what he was wearing? He had a purple like see-through shirt." By the way, you want a good idea of what he looked like? The shirt looked like. If you guys remember Jeff Hardy, that's what it was like. It was like a Jeff Hardy shirt from like his early WWE, WWF days when he was with his brother, like that, like punkish, see-through, like fishnet type of stuff.
Here's part of the reason, if not the full reason, why I didn't notice it. I don't know if you noticed, because remember, I sat in the front seat.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I got in the front seat, and as soon as I got in the front seat, he starts staring at me, and then he wants to talk. I don't want to make eye contact with this dude. I'm just like, let me just look through the windshield, make believe I'm texting, because I just want to go to my hotel room. I'm drunk. My stomach is unsettled, and I need to be back in my room, in our room, just in case I need to go to the bathroom.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, I got to get the F out of here and not make eye contact with this dude. And that was the end of that. But when you said that, I was in tears.
Oh, my God. All right. Anyway, we had a great time. It was a fun trip. But next time, like we said, Caesar's got to get his own room, motherfucker.
Him and Danny can share a room.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the New York Mets. Who, listen, I talked about this a little bit in the previous episode about the run that they had to get to this point. So now we're recording on Monday night, and tomorrow, Tuesday, is game 3 of the NLDS at fucking 5:00, which I hate. But anyway, so you're tied against the Phillies 1-1. You could argue that they should be up 2-0, but it didn't happen. But as I said yesterday, the goal in Philadelphia was to at least come out of that tied 1-1, get one of those games in Philadelphia. And I feel pretty confident about them coming home with the series tied 1-1. Sir, we have not talked really about this run or what's happened in these first 2 games, but your thoughts on what you have seen in the first 2 games of this series against the Phillies.
Well, watching the games this weekend and looking into those fans and seeing what those disgusting fucking people do, your city still sucks, and it's a piece of shit, and you people suck, and you want to be New York so bad and you can't. And this is coming from a person that hates New York, that's from New York. Your cheesesteak sucks. You could put cheese whiz on anything, on a flip-flop, and it's going to taste good.
Oh, my God.
Just some of the things I'm hearing, like follow on social media and people saying like the stuff they experience with their children at this stadium is god awful, man. It's god awful. We should, as a nation, we should come together. I was telling Charlie this yesterday and sign some kind of like petition or something and just get that fucking city the fuck off the map. Cut it out and then send it up the fucking ocean. And hopefully a fucking whale sees it and swallows it. And then shits them out. You people suck. Your city sucks. You look up to a character that's fucking fake. Rocky Balboa is not real.
Oh, my God.
Okay? Man. The Liberty Bell, fuck your Liberty Bell, has a crack like my ass does. You people suck. Fuck you. Back to the Mets. I hope we fucking kick your ass here tomorrow and the day after. And you guys go to fuck home with your stupid beards and your stupid long hair and your hair's wet. You like these Puerto Rican dudes from the 80s that used to come outside with their hair all wet and curled up. Marsh, you piece of shit. Get out of here.
Oh, my God.
Listen, we should be up 2-0. When Ventos hit that second home run, I definitely thought we were going to win.
Man, so did I.
But it didn't happen. He kept Diaz out there too long. My biggest problem yesterday with McGill, You got 2 outs, bro. Why are we starting to decide to pitch around Trey Turner? Throw the ball. If he hits a home run on your best fastball, so be it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because guess what's happening? Guess who's up next? Harper.
Right.
You're not going to pitch to him. Your one good pitch that you thought was a good pitch, he almost hit a double down the line. The game was almost there, over there. So then you wind up walking him. You got what is this guy? This idiot's name?
Castellanos.
Oh my god, I hate that
whatever.
dude. He has such a punchable face. You get 0-2 on him, and then you throw a hanger.
Yeah, dude. That
Bro,
was
it's got to be in the dirt or outside somewhere. Or you know what? Rear back and throw your best cheddar. Make him hit you. You try to get too cute. What happens? You hang an off speed pitch, and he smacked it down the left field line. Game over. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Let's go. We should have kicked him right in the nuts yesterday. And I wish we would have. Because those people looked defeated yesterday at a certain point of that game.
It's crazy watching, bro. At some point, that crowd was like booing them when they were before they scored those. I don't know what's going on today with my voice. Before the Phillies scored those 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th, because don't forget the Mets are up 3-0. They were like booing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was actually Castellanos. They were booing him for swinging at pitches in the dirt.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And he's known to do that, which is why it makes me more upset that he got the hanger. He chases these pitches.
Yeah.
It happens. We Mets can't go back to Philly. I'll say that.
No, listen, they gotta just. You're gonna be back in front of the home crowd for the first time, and
that place is gonna be rocking tomorrow. I wish I could go.
I know.
Anaya's got to pitch a great game tomorrow. One of the best games he's ever had. I'll be right there chanting for him. If he wins tomorrow, I'll be like, yeah, give him $40 million a year. Fuck it. I'll be right in that front of that picket line.
Dude, I tell you what, I know there was the rumor earlier this year, and we talked about it a little bit, that there was rumors going around that he was going to opt out. And how can you blame him? Because he's pitched well this year. You know, he started off a little shaky, but, overall he's pitched well. I agree with you. If he comes out of the gate tomorrow and pitches a masterpiece, fuck it. Tear up that fucking contract.
Give him a new one. Who cares? I don't care anymore. It's not my money. Give him $40 million a year. Fuck it. 100-year contract. Fuck it.
Sign him for at least 3 more years. So you mentioned I wanted to talk about Pete Alonso, and I said my piece about him the other day, but he had a solo home run yesterday, and I will admit I was sick of him in the beginning of this series, because not even the beginning. I thought that the home run that he hits, the dramatic home run that he hits against the Milwaukee Brewers on, God, what was that? Thursday, right? That helps to send the Mets into the playoffs, into the next round. You thought that was going to be a catalyst for him going forward, and that wasn't necessarily the case through the first game. And even, let's see, he's not really hitting well right now. But he hits the solo home run. He helps out. He does help out on the win yesterday. He's not hurting them at first base. He never really has all year.
He's actually saving people from making a lot of errors.
Yeah, he's played a very good first base. I don't know if it's gold glove caliber, but it's up there. I know everybody's talking about Vientos, and rightfully so, because he's having a phenomenal playoffs so far. But I still think that Pete's the guy that stirs the drink at the end of the day, and he really needs to get going to really carry this team if they're going to go and do what people want them to do. So, sir, what do you have to say about
you already know what I got to say. I don't even got to say it.
No, I know, but
here's my thing. Here's my thing, and this is moving forward to help all the Mets fans that are trying to talk themselves off the ledge, talking about Pete, they're sick of him, blah, 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 blah. Let me help you out, guys. Let me help you guys moving forward so you could observe it better and feel better about yourself as you're watching the game. All you guys have said all year is he hasn't done X, Y, and Z. So this is the way I look at it. That's what he's been doing for this year. He's had a good year. If you compared him, like we said before, if it was somebody else, he still had a good year, right? Just wait for him to have the big moments. Because it happened in the Milwaukee season. That home run yesterday could have been it. I don't do the woulda, coulda, shoulda, could have been. It wasn't. He tends to have these big moments. Everybody complained about it. He didn't have a great year. So don't expect him now to all of a sudden have a great year. The pressure's more, the pressure's bigger. Yes, should he come through? I agree with that. But according to everyone, he hadn't had a great year. So don't put the expectation too high. Just let the moment happen. And I feel like he'll come through. When I came in home that night, I just happened to get home right in the ninth inning. I had to rewind it. I sat here and I was like, dude, and I didn't know anything at the moment in time. I swear to you, bro. I sat here, I said, dude, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna fucking do it now. This is your moment. I fucking swear to God. I said, this is your fucking moment, dude. I unpaused it and I played it. And I watched his at bat happen. I said, holy shit, here it is. It's just moments like that. You just gotta wait those moments out and just see what happens. The guy didn't have a great year, so I don't expect him to have all these hits all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. But if there are big moments like Milwaukee hit a home run yesterday, I'll take that. And that's how I look at it.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Listen, that home run on Thursday against in the Milwaukee series that sends them to play against against the Phillies, man. It's funny because when he hit that, I think he knew it was out.
No, you saw his reaction.
Yeah, what his reaction?
He went, ah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was out. And I said, he's prematurely celebrating.
Yes.
But obviously, you being a power hitter, you know when you got a, and it wasn't like, it didn't clear the fence by much, but it cleared it by, I would say, maybe 8 to 10 feet?
Yeah.
So he knew it. He got it right on the sweet part of the bat, opposite field. I don't even know how far that fence is. I'm not even sure how high that fence is or whatever the case may be. But I kind of, once he hit it, and then they showed a camera view of I guess they zoomed in on one of the fans before it cleared the fence. And when I saw this guy's face on the camera, I was like, this shit's gone. Because they got the soul sucked out of them. And then my friend asked me, he's like, you're watching this shit? I was like, I'm watching. I said, but what's going to help us if Winker could score? And sure enough, he scored.
Right. Yeah.
That guy, like you said, that diabolical fuck. I love him. That's the kind of person you hate him when he's on the other team.
Of course.
And you love him when he's on your team. That guy does not care.
I got a text.
Diabolical is the perfect word for him.
Yeah, he is. I got a text from somebody who's a Brewers fan, and he's like, I fucking hate Jesse Winker. I'm like, I get it. I don't really like him
Mets
either.
Fans hated him too when he was on the Reds, and he used to make sliding catches, and he used to go look up at the crowd and do like this and wave with that stupid Joker smile. And you just want to spit on him.
Joker smile, holy shit.
But that's who he is. That's who he is. You hate him when he's on the other team, and you love him when he's on your team. And you said the perfect word. He's diabolical, bro, and he knows exactly what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. Of course. He broke his fucking helmet when he slammed it.
Oh, I bet you every Mets fan in their house was like, yeah, get him. If that Brewers dugout would have emptied because they did that and he felt offended, I feel like he would have kicked everyone's ass.
Yeah, in that moment, probably right. By the way, I want to ask you, I've been wanting to ask you a question. Do you think the Mets should bring up Brett Beatty?
Oh my God. He
Can we talk about, listen, I know I was never crazy about Vientos. I gotta be completely honest. He didn't do enough previously in the times that he played before this year that I was like, okay, this guy is a surefire prospect that's gonna play this well. Bro. I mean, he has a phenomenal. He's been having a phenomenal postseason.
To your point that you just said about that, why I didn't feel one way about him or the other way is because I don't think his opportunity was as consistent as Beatty's was. It was up here for a few games. He was the first one that they sent right back down.
Right.
They were infatuated, and they still are to this day with Beatty. And like you said, the one thing they mention, they always talk about his beautiful left-handed swing. Well, if you don't make contact, how beautiful is it?
Yeah, it's true.
And if you don't hit, how beautiful is it? I don't care about that kind of stuff. And I would like to sit down because the rumor was, and I think you said you heard it, that Buck Showalter, for some reason, didn't like this young guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to know, what did you see that you didn't like in this young ball player? Because right now he's taking that bat and he's shoving it way up your ass.
Though, to be fair, we know that Showalter's knock has always been he doesn't really necessarily give the young players the opportunity.
And I feel like throughout his career, that's why he always found himself in bad spots.
Yeah.
Because he's too structured to certain things. And if you just broke a little bit and gave somebody an opportunity, that could have helped you in the long run. But he never did that. So, and here we are. But I wanted to go back to this Diaz thing real quick. I feel like they're trying to do that thing that Buck Showalter used to do. Remember how he used to say I don't use him as a save guy. I use him when I need him.
Right.
7th, 8th inning. I don't think Diaz is that guy anymore.
No, I can't. He looks
that. I don't want to say awful, but he doesn't look like the same guy.
No, he's not.
2 years ago or before he got hurt. He doesn't have that electric stuff anymore. Or he could pinpoint it. The slider, he could put it where he wants. The 2-seamer, the 4-seamer. I don't see that. So I don't think he could come in and carry you from the 8th and get you 4 or 5 outs. I don't think he could do that anymore.
Yeah, I was not crazy about them bringing him in that situation. I get why. I understand why Mendoza did it. I just don't like it, and I just don't think that he's used to that situation. Put him in a situation that he's used to. Just fucking save him. That's it. That's just save him for the end of the game, and if you lose in that situation, well, at least you can say, well, you know what, we fucking, he was in there when he needed to be in there, not in the 7th inning to try to get us to the 9th.
Because to your point, you're taking him out of the situation he's used to. And now you're putting somebody in his situation that they're not used to.
Right, like McGill. And there
he kind of hinted toward that when they interviewed him. He said, well, it's something I got to get used to, but I still got to come through. So, still trying to give himself a little bit of an out while kind of still taking blame. You get what I'm saying?
I get it. And he has every right to feel that way. He believes he should be used.
A starter.
Yeah.
Or maybe at the least long relief.
You're talking about McGill.
McGill, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought that was coming from Diaz.
No, that was coming from McGill. He said he's got to come through, but it's this position. That's in a situation that he's not used to. Something like that. I'm not saying it verbatim, but it was something like that.
But I guess my response to that would be David Peterson did it. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing. He's watched baseball all his life. He's grown up. He's played baseball. He's in the major leagues. Ever since I can remember as a child, when you make the playoffs, all this title shit is out the window. You're not a starter anymore. You're not long relief. You're not the 8th inning guy. You're not the 9th inning guy. Everybody has whatever, all hands on deck.
Right.
If it's game 5, is your arm still attached to your body? I might need you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always been like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right. Been like that. So you got to mentally prepare yourself. I got to come in the 7th. I got to come in the 8th. You're still pitching.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether you got to get 1 out or 10 outs, you're still pitching. You've been doing this all your life. I don't want to hear that stuff. All hands on deck. Let's go kick these fucks' ass. And take all those cheesesteaks and shove them right in their ass.
For the record, I love the cheesesteaks, but anyway, LeeJay thinks they're overrated.
They're big time.
I think the problem was I didn't take you to a really good spot. We went to the tourist spot. Anyway, listen, the bottom line is they have to win tomorrow on Tuesday. I mean, that's just kind of it. The situation is just fucking win. Tuesday, wrap it up on Wednesday, and you'll get 2 days rest before you have to go fly out to the West Coast because by the way, they're flying out to the West Coast regardless of who wins that series.
Hello.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
That's not complicated.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. So you want the 2 days. By the way, these fucking Dodgers fans, bro. Holy shit. I'm wondering who's worse, them or Phillies fans.
No, I'm not even going to answer that. I already went on my little thing right before we started talking about this, and that's never going to change to me. I watched a lot of baseball. I've gone to, for now in my lifetime, enough stadiums, and I've met enough other fans of other people to know that the Phillies fans and their city are scum. Plain and simple. And if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you.
Jesus Christ. All right. Switching gears here because this actually happened while we were in Milwaukee. And, we got a little taste of it last night because the Knicks traded for Karl-Anthony Towns. And Towns, yeah, that's what I said. Towns.
Because I'm reading here what you put here.
What did I say?
It's a
in the thing.
typo. Thomas.
Oh yeah, it's a typo. Towns, yeah. No, I got it right. I got it right when I'm saying it. So, makes his debut last night at exhibition. The Knicks won. Who gives a shit? But he finishes with 10 points in 15 minutes. And you got an idea yesterday about what this team was going to look like because the starting lineup last night was Towns, obviously, Jalen Brunson at point guard, OG
Anunoby.
Oh yeah, you can say that. I can't. Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges. So that's gonna be your starting five basically for the season. And I saw Thibodeau was like, there's some work to do here. Whatever. Of course he's gonna say that because he seems like a grumpy old man. Now the trade itself. Just before we get into it, they sent Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, Keita Bates Diop, and a future first round pick via the Pistons because it was a three. It actually was a three-way trade there. So we're in Milwaukee when this happens, right? And we had our things to say. I think initially, from things that I read, and even Eric, who's listening, wasn't too crazy about the trade initially. I thought it's probably a great trade because I think, well, this helps you better stack up against the Celtics. Because listen, guys, the road to the championship probably goes through Boston. Let's be,
it's always, to me, it's always the winner,
yeah.
especially if they don't change their team. Or it relatively stays the same.
It's going through Boston. It's going through Beantown. And look, they're playing them opening night in Boston when the Celtics raised that banner to the rafters at TD Garden.
Yep, I called for that. I like that.
You did, yeah. So you've had a while now to think about this, and you're the Knicks expert here, obviously, but I'm just looking at this from a high level because I always think that you make the moves necessary in the offseason to beat the team that you're trying to beat and match up against them better because ultimately you're going to have to go through them. Any sport, baseball, football, hockey, you got to make the changes to be able to beat that team at the end of the day. So my question to you, two questions here. One, your overall reaction to the trade. And two, does this help put them over the hump? All things considered, let's just say everybody stays healthy, Celtics stay healthy, you're playing Eastern Conference final, whatever. What are your thoughts on everything that went down with this trade?
I actually like the trade. I mean, for those that follow basketball, this has been a rumor for the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm, right.
And then Randall got hurt last year, and it was all about, like I said, all you got to do is follow the bouncing ball and read the tea leaves. And all you kept hearing was Randall never really had a chance to play with this team with Brunson because he got hurt. They really never had a chance to mesh. And I just kept on saying the right opportunity is going to come. Randall's not going to play for the Knicks anymore. He's going to be traded in the offseason. And sure enough, they made it work. I actually think it's going to work for both teams. If Randall just knows that the team that he's going to is Anthony Edwards' team, and he feeds off of that kid because that kid is that kid's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It'll work. DiVincenzo, I think it will be coming off the bench, so he'll probably be a good six man. He's a good player. I did hate losing him, but you obviously got to give up more than one piece to get. It wasn't going to be a 1-for-1 type of thing,
right?
Money wise, everything included. Listen, Towns has the reputation of being soft. Whatever. I think he's a Jersey kid, if I'm not mistaken.
He is. Yeah, grew up in Knicks.
Maybe being back, quote unquote, back home. New team. Jalen Brunson gets behind them. He's a good 3-point shooter. He's over 40%. I think that's better than Randall, if I'm not mistaken. He has a better post game than Randall. Rebounding could probably be better a little bit at his height, offensive rebounding. I don't know how many block shots he averages. Also, Thibodeau coached him in Minnesota. You remember Thibodeau was a head coach for a few years in Minnesota. I don't know exactly how many years he was there. I don't remember. So he's always been a fan of his. So the coach-player relationship is going to work because they've done it before. I think it's going to work. Now, I don't know. You don't know the dynamic between them and the Celtics until it starts to happen.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm a fan, so I'm not going to go anywhere else. I hope they kick their ass. And they punch Porzingis right in his throat.
Oh, Jesus Christ. By the way, he's been a little down with blocks per game the last 2 seasons. Just FYI. But I think it might be because he did change to power forward the last 2 seasons officially and not listed as a center. So, but he's averaging overall in his career 1.3 blocks.
And Randall was never a block shot guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, listen, I love what Randall did. He came here. Nobody else wanted to come here. It started with him.
I was about to say, he was the beginning. He was.
Where it started with him, where the Knicks started slowly coming out of the horse shit that we've been in for 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gave that, what he did an obscene gesture one time. Said, I don't care about that. You fans need to grow up, okay? Middle finger, stuck the thumbs down. Who cares? You know what I care about? If he helps my team win. You know what I'm saying? He could stick his middle finger at me. I don't care. He could do thumbs down. Did you just help us win? I'm good. Let's do it. I don't care about that. People are too sensitive. Like in the moment, sometimes players are just frustrated. Do they lose themselves? Sure. But you can't look at that as like, he can't play, he hates us. That's not the case. Okay? Mm-hmm. He did a lot of good things for this city. Made a couple All-Star games, maybe first team NBA, second team, whatever it was. They just didn't see that he was going to fit here with the team they were trying to build. And that's fair. They found something that was of equal value, and they made the trade. Let's see what happens.
I think it was pretty apparent. And as somebody who obviously is not a Knicks fan, who doesn't really follow, and I'm trying to, guys, don't worry. I ranted about the Nets fucking shitty roster this past episode. I knew that he wasn't a fit anymore when you looked at the way the team played. Like, you saw it. You fucking anybody who watches basketball knows that he was not a fit for this team anymore. So you go out and get a guy who fits in a little bit more. And the whole thing, I know people were upset about DiVincenzo. And there was already rumors going around that he wasn't going to be happy because he knew he was going to get the decreased playing time.
Listen, DiVincenzo had a good year for us. He helped us out a lot. But let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes. Let's chill. You're going to get over it.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think how also they look at it is like, I think the Royals just tied it up. I think...
Oh, shit. I totally forgot they were playing.
Julius Randle is definitely a more type A personality. And that's where I think they saw it. Not that it wouldn't mesh, because eventually you got to figure it out. But I don't think the Knicks want anything to mess up what Jalen Brunson has going on here.
Right. I agree.
He's the leader. It's his team. Everybody's going to fall in line. Towns will fall in line. And that's that.
I will be watching a lot of Knicks games this year because I feel like I'm not going to get anywhere with the Nets this year. We'll be lucky if the Nets win 20 games this year.
Oh boy, you heard it here first.
Yeah. Dude, I did it. I was looking at it last night.
I was too busy to listen to the single, but I'm going to listen to it tomorrow just because I wanted to comment on it.
Would you go back and, well, what do you think about the Nets?
Yeah, you really want me to talk about it?
Yeah, why the fuck not? We got some time here. Why not?
I told you I always like Cam Thomas. I think he's a really good player. I do like what's his name? Good defensive, good rebounder. Oh my god, the skinny kid. Nicholas Claxton.
I love him. Yeah,
but they don't have any star power.
No, they don't.
So like, when you don't play these like for example Golden State, and you don't play like Lakers, Knicks, even another good team comes into your stadium, and you're playing like Charlotte or something. How many tickets are you going to sell? Who's going to show up to the games? Like,
awful.
Billy King, when he was here with that trade, ruined it. These two schmucks are doing the same thing. And it's like, you guys are back to the baseline. Like, what are we doing? Like, when people just think about, just forget about other cities. Let's just talk about New York. When you start talking to people about that are basketball fans, and you say just Brooklyn, the borough Brooklyn, they got to do a better job than that. And they know that.
Yeah, they do.
And it's just, it's like that guy, Joe Tsai, like he don't care.
No.
It seems like he doesn't care to me, is my opinion.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I was going to say it. A lot of the there are hardcore Brooklyn Nets fans out there because they're Jersey.
They're out there. They're out there. I got a couple on my job. They're out there.
They think that Tsai should fucking sell the team because, like what you just said, he doesn't care.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he cares.
It doesn't seem like he knows what the fuck he's doing as the
And then
owner.
You keep on raising. I hear they keep raising prices.
Yes. Yeah.
Come on, man. What are we doing here, dude? And this guy, Sean Marks, he's right behind them. Oh, he's from the what is it? Coffee cake face. What's his name? Greg Popovich.
Yeah.
He's from that tree. Let me tell you something, guys. I don't care what y'all say. Yeah. I don't care what y'all tell me. I don't really give a shit. Greg Popovich doesn't win unless he has Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
Ooh.
He's not as fantastic as you think he is. I'll leave it at that. And I don't care. My opinion.
Listen, I know. I was about to say.
When you don't have these guys, a good coach is when you don't have the greatest team or the superstars and you're able to develop kids.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they stick with you or not and they move on to another team, you develop them. But when he doesn't have the roster, there's no development there, as I see, and they don't win.
Yeah.
It's either Duncan Robinson or what's his name? I think he won a championship with him too. Kawhi Leonard. That's it.
Yeah.
So now let's see what he does with, what's his name? Wembanyama.
Yeah. Shit.
I'm still not sold, but let's see what happens.
You said that way better than I could have. By the way, he's put on weight. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I did.
He's put on like a lot of weight, so good for him.
So let's see what happens.
Eat a burger. Seriously.
Until then, don't talk to me.
And on that note, that's going to do it for episode number 15 of Two Dummies That Just Watch, a sports podcast between friends. Don't forget, we're going to come right back at you on Friday morning with a fresh episode where we'll go over the Mets and the NLDS, Yankees as well. Can't forget about them. I'm going to go put the game on right now because I totally forgot. And, we'll talk about anything else that happens between now and then. By the way, New York Liberty are in the WNBA finals. I'm going to try to watch. I'm going to try to watch those games because if I don't, my mom will scream at me because I know she's going to ask questions. Oh, did you watch the Liberty? I feel bad because nah.
I find it cool that she's a fan.
Oh,
a big fan.
She's a huge Liberty fan, like huge Liberty fan. So,
I
yeah, they
wish it
used to
wasn't
have.
just a hassle to get from my house to go to one of the
I know
games.
it's such a. Well, I mean, shit's even worse for me. Though I am going to make the effort to go to Nets games this season. I'm in the city once a week now, so hopefully
Worst
when they
comes to
have,
worst, you just say F it. If you do it once in a while, you just get yourself a hotel room.
yeah. Well, I can see my brother.
Or you can stay, which right there, true.
He's
Which
right
is right.
there.
He'll go to the
He's right
game, and then
there.
you just stay right there. Yep, fair enough.
You heard that, Danny?
Open up your fucking doors, bitch.
All right, guys. We will see you on Friday. I am Will Hernandez. He is LeeJay Parilla, and we'll see you on Friday. Peace out.
Later.